to Relay.
Hello. How's
David.
everybody? Oh, hi. It's happening. Hey, Sargareth, how's it going? Look, we've got a shiver this time. It's been a long time since we've had a shiver. No, shiver,
What
you
is this
can't.
strange place?
You can't see yourself. If you look around, you can't see you. Shit, he's figured out it's not a simulation. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Relay podcast where we don't talk about Star Citizen, we talk about other video games. Yeah.
Hi.
Podcast where we never mention Star Citizen or swear.
Ever.
Shit. Fuck.
Fuck.
Bollocks. Shit. Bollocks. Shit. Fuck. Fuck. Shit. Fuck.
Star Citizen. Oh, no.
Funny thing is,
Hey,
I already know for a fact that I'm going to be mentioning Star Citizen later as we talk about one of the, 3 news stories we've got. So
We're off the rails.
this is just going to be one of those shows where there are no rules.
Can I take my trousers off then?
Yeah, sure. No one can see them. I'm opening myself
I'm not wearing any anyway.
a lovely water mixed with grains drink. Do you think I could technically call it steeped grain water? Because technically the water steeps, or the grains steep in water for a while.
I think you're heading into a maze of legal issues.
I think
Steeped grain tea.
It's better to just hop off this train now.
Oh, my God. No, I would say fermented.
Shiver,
grain
we have
grain
barley
beverage.
even begun, and you're already at it.
Malt.
It's horrible, and I love it. Thank you, Sarkaref. I'm really proud of that one, actually. That was the best. That was the best thing I've done all year. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unnamed Gaem Show. We're going to talk video games. Unless I decide to drop all the frames again. Which might happen. We'll see.
And not a frame is spared.
I hate frames. I'm just going to... I got to reply to the tweet.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's not really an uh-oh. Okay, we're going to start. We're going to talk about what we're playing. I want to know what y'all are playing. So, completely unprepared. Shiver, what you playing?
Do you remember... Christ. Many moons ago...
I don't remember Christ. It was quite a while ago.
Never met the guy.
Sorry, Shiver.
Big fan of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, wow.
I didn't crucify him. Do you remember...
Was he a holy guy?
Workers and Resources? Yeah, at least 3. Loved hanging around.
Okay.
Wasn't so fond of Roman.
Okay.
Hey, Jake!
What have you been playing?
Do you remember, many a moon ago, Workers and Resources,
Yeah.
or something Soviet thing? I'm back on that at the moment because they've added in some more stuff into the beta, which is really cool. Airplanes and trains and automobiles.
Trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah. They added in planes, and it's quite cool.
Bye, Jake!
So I'm back on that, and it's great. DRG every so often, because why not? I dig it. And there was another one. It'll come back to me at some point. The most inconvenient of times. I'm sitting here... Mass Effect 3 multiplayer!
Oh, nice! Just the original. Just for shits?
Well, the Legendary Edition doesn't have... isn't going to have the multiplayer. And the only... I don't think the Legendary Edition is really aimed for PC users, because first of all, the updated textures are very nice and stuff. You just go to Nexus Mods and get the same textures anyway. What was the other thing that they were adding? HDR, however, that would almost be enough if it weren't for the fact of it's still got a huge price tag, because I have Mass Effect spread out on Steam and Origin, so I don't get the discount. And Windows 10 is actually doing an update some point in the future where it's going to have auto HDR, as they call it, where it just simulates HDR. And HDR has never been really very well implemented on PC anyway for games. Wonderful for movies, perfect for movies. It's a little bit iffy on games, so.
Much better implementation on consoles for HDR.
I've had some luck on some games with HDR, and then others turning it on has completely killed the visibility in the game with no way to fix it, and the only thing to do was just turn it off entirely. And it was like, that's really disappointing. I've got the system to run it, I've got the monitor to do it, but the game just couldn't figure itself out. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, are there still people playing?
A heck of a lot, actually, on PC. I've been told it's dead on the consoles, but I don't know. But people are still playing the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer right now on PC. It's gets its hooks in you.
I do remember really
simple
liking
thing.
it. It was a really, really well implemented multiplayer. It was just good. It was I remember being really disappointed in it at the time, because for Mass Effect 2, shortly after Mass Effect 2, EA had announced that in the future all of their games would include multiplayer. And my mind immediately went Mass Effect co-op.
Yeah.
Look, this was many years ago, and my mind was not quite as half-formed as it is now.
I like the idea in principle. I just don't know whether or not it would have had the same oomph that the single player had, or if it would have to be done really well. Like even better than Star Wars: The Old Republic does it when you team up. It needs to be something that's a bit more, okay, so you just Agent Smith into an NPC as part of the main player's team. It needed to be a bit more than that. But then might as well just make a Mass Effect MMO at that point.
That would be great.
Would it?
No. No, it's just
No, don't get me wrong. It works for Star Wars: The Old Republic. It definitely works for Star Wars: The Old Republic, because that was always that kind of a game. But Mass Effect has the very integrated shooter side of it.
Yeah.
You can do an MMO shooter.
You can, but really Star Citizen is the only one that seems to be making a real good try at it.
Tabula Rasa did it a long time ago.
Oh, is that still going?
No, it's not.
No.
And
How
then,
long did
but
that
there was that one that
Not long.
no, unfortunately, I loved it. But there was another one
PlanetSide
that is still
2.
going. PlanetSide 2
1
isn't really an MMO.
Pretty close.
It's a massively multiplayer FPS, not an MMO. The MMO tends to be MMORPG, right? PlanetSide was
never-ending game of Battlefield.
yeah.
Yeah, it totally is.
Was it Firefly? There was another one that they paired it with a TV show. And the TV show failed after one season, but the TV show and the MMO had like the same characters in it.
Is this
That
a
rings a bell, actually.
Asian thing?
No, it was North American. Defiance.
I don't know if I was ever aware of this.
Yeah, I think it's like Defiance 2050 or something right now. It was all right. Question mark.
But they're never long-lived, though, are they? And don't forget, Mass Effect was more than just the shooter. It was very much an RPG as well.
I was just gonna say, there's a huge narrative bent to Mass Effect, and that's really, really hard to do in a multiplayer game.
You're either going to end up with this MMO that's going to be extremely light.
Defiance was actually shut down on April 29th this year. It ran from 2014 to now.
Well, that's a good run. 7 years is
That's
fine.
not bad. Yeah.
That's not a bad run.
Yeah.
I suspect they were losing money most of those years, but
Oh, definitely. But I mean, it's still
it's not bad.
That's something. Anyway.
Yeah. But it's an interesting idea in principle.
Definitely.
Eric, what are you playing?
So, I finally conquered Africa in Crusader Kings 3. I was very proud of myself. That's not an easy thing to do. I got a lot better at the game along the way. I now want to try a few other campaigns.
Did you stop in Africa? Why didn't you conquer the world? Come on, man.
No, I didn't stop. It's just that Crusader Kings 3... Well, I'm probably at, like, I don't know, 40 hours in this particular game that I'm playing. Maybe 50. But I just conquered most of Spain right after I did that.
I mean, that's not hard.
I had to cross the Strait of Gibraltar to do it, but okay.
Just making fun of Spain.
But
it would have been funnier if you had said you'd conquered France, but you didn't. So
I sure didn't. Not yet. I'm working on it.
Like one of the biggest military powers in history. Oh yeah, France. They gave up.
No problem. Just roll right over them. But yeah, so that game's going really well. I want to start a new game now that I know all of the ins and outs, because there's a lot of ins and outs to Crusader Kings. But and I want to turn on Iron Man because it's harder, and I think that I could actually do better with that, and that also turns on achievements, and I want to achieve.
It's fair.
So, the other two, I'm currently in the midst of replaying Divinity Original Sin 2 with a friend. We're co-oping the whole campaign, and God, is that game ever good? Just spectacular. Larian deserves all the credit they can possibly be given.
It makes me very excited for Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah, and we mentioned Baldur's Gate 3 about 4 times per playthrough. And of course, I'm continuing with my my epically long Gloomhaven campaign. Currently playing the digital edition because getting together in person is somewhat problematic.
What's up, sure?
Go ahead.
Because you've got the experience with the TTRPG and the PC game, how do the two compare?
Oh, well, Gloomhaven's... Man, I don't know if I'd call... I guess it's kind of a TTRPG?
Physical game that you play
it is, yeah.
with other humans.
It's a really hard one to do. It's
water.
really... the way I always describe Gloomhaven is like... it's like a very structured D&D campaign. Like... But with, not the same rules or anything, but like to people who are, not familiar. It's, how do they compare? The developers of the digital game are being as faithful as they possibly can be to the original game. It's very close. Even to the point where we are arguing some of the rules because the rules are the same in the game as they are in the board game.
Can you play
for the most part.
PC version on your own, or do you need other humans that drink water as well?
No, yeah, I have a solo campaign that I'm running that I do myself when I don't have anyone to play with. All they have right now is what they call, I think they call it like adventure mode or something. The full campaign, which is a full like realization of the board game campaign, which is like 105 scenarios or something. that whole campaign is supposed to come out later this year, I think, and that's like another game mode entirely from what we're playing right now. It's really good. It's been in early access for a while, and they're doing a really good job of it. This is not a big developer; they were small, and but it's great. It's a great game, and recommend it to anybody. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
For me, that's about all I'm playing right now. There's lots of things I want to play, but time has a problem where I can't create enough of it.
Keeps slipping.
But Crusader Kings has a lot to do with that, given my my very long campaign and conquering Africa and all that.
That's fair.
I'm actually reaching. I'm almost to the end of a Crusader Kings game. I wasn't even sure there was an end, and then I went and looked, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it ends in like 1463 or something." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm in like 1280 already." Jesus, like 2 more rulers, and then I'm done. So probably another like 10 or 15 hours or something.
Can you keep going after the supposed end date?
No. It ends and then it's like, here are all your stats and what happened throughout the whole game for the last like 600 years of history that you played.
0 on 10 would not play. They didn't model the entirety of human history.
Some games have tried. Some actually did a pretty good job of it.
Empire Earth.
That's the one. They did a great job of that game. I love that game.
Love that game.
Quite a thing to take on. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. David, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a couple things. All 3 things that are sort of new, so I want to talk about them a little bit because 1, I tried the Resident Evil Village demo. Resident Evil Village comes out very shortly, like this week, I think. Anyway, I tried the demo. There's like a 1-hour free-to-play demo on Steam. You get 1 hour to play it. It's creepy. I don't know if either of you have played Resident Evil 7 or any Resident Evils, really. But, Shiver, you might be more interested in the new Resident Evils. They are a lot more serious horror. They're a lot less like run and shoot zombies and stuff, and a lot more just like creepy characters and horrifying scenarios. And like Resident Evil 7 was great, but it was like American body horror and like swamps and like maggoty things and guys.
Are there steam-powered fuck machines?
No. Sorry. No, but like they are not the Resident Evil games of old. Resident Evil 7 and Village are much, much more competent horror games. There's still some action to them. There's still some shooting and stuff, but it's very limited. Like the demo starts you with 20 bullets, and very, very quickly I had gone through all my bullets and was trying to defend myself with a pocket knife and being eaten by things. And there's only like 3 enemies to fight. It's mostly like the psychological horror and the situational. It's not so much like hordes of zombies as it used to be, but really, really impressed by the demo. I highly recommend people take a look at it. It's I think it's like a 10 gig download. There are still jump scares sometimes, but it's not even so much the jump scares. It's the anticipation of them. In that, like, okay, something's gonna happen, and I don't know, and it just keeps you creeped out. I don't know. I don't play a lot of horror games. I'm actually really, really bad at them. I will only play it like in full sunlight, in full. I creep out really, really. I don't watch horror movies. But Shiver, honestly, try the demo. I think you might find it interesting.
I mean, the demo's free, isn't it?
It is.
So yeah.
It's free. So 7 was like American body horror. Village is gothic horror. And there's Lady Dimitrescu, who's like 8 feet tall and dominates you.
She's the
Yeah.
she's the vampire lady that everyone keeps
Talking about.
Oh yeah.
memeing.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yes, she's a big meme. In every sense of the word.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously, try the demo. Really good. I've also tried a little bit of a new quasi battle royale that's come out called Scavengers. I think they're doing an alpha right now. Quite interesting. It's not complete yet, but what I played of it was, I thought, a pretty good sort of spin on battle royale in that you land in a map and you're basically tasked not with killing the other players, but with killing animals and stuff and things in the environment to get research data and then get that data to a ship and evacuate. But at the end, like, if you kill the other players, you get their stuff. Right? So it's battle royale by proxy, but liked it. Game played pretty neat. It's I think it's free to play as well, but yeah, it was pretty good. And then the thing that I've spent the most time playing this week, aside from Breath of the Wild, because that is consuming my late evenings, picked up Pokemon Snap, the new Pokemon Snap.
Is it a Snap?
Did either of you play the original Pokemon Snap by any chance?
Nope.
I know
played
Shiver.
the original.
I know you won't have
the
Shiver,
old
but
Pokemon. But...
Okay. Pokemon Snap is fantastic. Honestly, like 10 on 10 game. I am so incredibly in love with the game. The idea is pretty simple. You have a camera. It's an on-rails shooter where you're taking pictures of Pokemon.
Perfect.
But for the first, like...
So you're a paparazzi.
Basically, yeah. Well, no, you're a nature photographer.
Pokerazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say paparazzi. Perfect.
Pokerazzi, yeah.
Good one.
But it's really, really interesting because the Pokemon are interacting with each other, not in battles, but like in the world.
Mm-hmm.
No. None of that. But it's just a lot of fun.
How do you get more Pokemon?
I don't know, and I also
Very
don't know what they
carefully.
eat, because there's a lot of like clearly carnivorous Pokemon that they never really answer what those Pokemon eat. Yeah, as Sargrath says, it is a bit of a puzzle game as well. There's like you're going through an entire like on rails thing, but if you do something at the start if you play a song, you can throw food at the Pokemon, or you can play songs for them, or you can convince them to do things, and they'll interact with the environment and with the other Pokemon in different ways. And it's all about getting them into situations that create good photographs. And I really, really enjoy it. They've created an excellent, excellent game.
So
Yeah.
what we need is an adult version of this game where instead of Pokemon, it's strippers, whatever gender you want. I don't care. You know, strippers, and you just see them in their natural habitat. And whatever you do before the game, get roll of 20s or something. You can just throw it at them, make it rain, and they'll respond. And then you've got to take pictures.
Okay, I have to...
Exotic dancers.
Shiver, I have to ask a question. One, what is the natural habitat of the stripper?
Strip joint.
Okay, and is this like
okay.
an on-rails shooter through the strip joint, or do you get to control
Where's the
yourself?
fun in that? As long as you don't touch them, it's fine. No touching.
Oh,
They can gyrate in front of you all they want.
Man. I'm expecting you to make this game, Shiver.
I want to make this game.
you know what? It would probably do very well on Steam.
It probably would do excellent.
Yes.
We're right there with Lust for Beyond.
It's just how many different black-haired women can we go through? Well, here's the Asian section, here's the smaller not Asian section, and then we're done.
There's Shiver's game.
Who cares after that?
Poke and snap.
Man. Poke and snap. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Love it. All right, that was.
I love that Sargrath is like, Shiver, no.
And then gets into it and
What are you
starts
doing,
naming it.
Step Shiver?
All right, it's time for our next segment, the accurately named segment 2, one game that you want. This is one game that you want. It might exist on a dark place on Patreon. The question is, can Shiver find it? The game, Brian Brown says that game probably exists in a dark place somewhere on Patreon.
Oh, I haven't got the
It probably does.
thanks. There it is.
All right,
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
Well, we're talking
What's
about
up?
one game that we want. I think I know the game that Shiver wants, because Shiver only wants one game. Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is not indefinitely cancelled. I don't know why everyone keeps saying, oh, they said it's indefinite. It's like, the word indefinite isn't even in the statement.
No,
Neither
so
was the word cancelled.
it's
But
funny.
because it came off as like one blogger or something said, oh, they've definitely cancelled it. And then everyone repeats that as if
I've
that was a
noticed.
statement.
No,
It's
Shiver.
like, go and read the
I've noticed that
source.
they do this. So remember a while ago when Star Citizen delayed Squadron 42 and everyone was like indefinitely canceled. And then it happened again with Vampire the Masquerade. They delayed it, indefinitely canceled, and then it happened again with Dying Light 2 when they delayed Dying Light 2 and everyone's like it's indefinitely canceled.
But
Or
I can lay out for you
indefinitely
exactly
delayed.
Why Bloodlines 2 is going to come out. I can't guarantee the quality of it at this point in time because, yeah, but it's going to come out because Paradox bought the license for White Wolf, and literally they said at the start their plan was to revitalize the whole thing, get series and TV shows out there, which they've recently just announced, in fact, and are going ahead with. But Paradox know shit all, really, about TTRPGs.
Yep.
And the people who hate V5 will actually back me up on that because they're like, oh, V5. Go back to V20, that's fine. Let me enjoy V5. I like it. But anyway, they know shit all about making TTRPGs. This is not how they make money. They make money from games. They need Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2 to come out to be like the crowning achievement of this is our gold standard of World of Darkness games. This is what we can achieve. This is going to be our big BTM game seller, and it's gonna happen. They need it to be good. They need it to come out. Whether it's going to be good, obviously, both fingers and toes crossed, all 6 of them. But it's going to come out. Hopefully, it's good. They need it to be good because they need to push. They bought this license. They need to push the license. They need to get something out.
I think then it's even more important that it. I don't think it's that important when it comes out. It really, really has to be good.
I mean, that's sort of what we're seeing now, though. I think some publishers, some developers definitely, and hopefully some publishers looked at like the last
Oh,
Year?
year, but Avengers launch. How did that do?
Terrible.
Fallout 76 launched before it was ready. How'd that do?
Really bad.
Like the number, there's more. I could keep going, I'm sure, but the number of things that have launched and just weren't ready.
I could name at least 2,077.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
At least that number.
and we know that it's true. Like games are launching before they're ready, and I think maybe publishers are finally seeing that and saying, we
We're
can't
basically
do this.
dumping these super expensive projects into the garbage because
You get
because
one
we're not
shot,
patient enough.
one opportunity.
There's another thing that people are saying about Bloodlines 2 is that this new studio is completely starting again from scratch. And not majority, but there's this small... And it's like, no, they literally said in the statement, everything they've worked on is being ported over and they're not starting again from scratch. They literally said that. And at some point, some of these people actually should go and read the fucking statement rather than just hearing from their third cousin's best friend who heard it from a talking gopher.
No, Shiver, what it is they saw a tweet that said indefinitely delayed, and they didn't read anything further. It's the headline. What does the headline say? That must be it.
Oh
and
boy.
What sells a headline? Delayed or indefinitely delayed?
True.
It's just technically indefinitely delayed is accurate when they don't give a new release date. It has been delayed for an indefinite amount of time, but it's
the definition
bullshit.
of indefinitely delayed does not equate to what most people understand it to be.
Yes.
There's a difference between indefinite amount of time and unknown time.
Yes, agreed.
But I am looking forward to another game that's also been, indifferently
delayed.
Indifferently, I needed that coffee. The new Gotham Knights game.
Oh yeah,
Gotham Knights, hey?
It'll be a game.
That's great, David. Oh man.
I'm sorry that the Arkham series outperformed the Avengers. I know that's a sore spot for you.
It's not. The Arkham series was really good, at least the first one. I didn't like the rest, to be honest.
It was weird because if you really were a Batman fan, you buy them all. If you were just a fan of the game, just buy Arkham Knight because it's got all the mechanics from the previous ones plus new ones. And that was how it always went. It's like, well, Arkham Asylum was a fantastic game, great game. City came out, fantastic game, great game. Same mechanics, few more. Same with Knight, just a few more mechanics.
Yep.
And the Batmobile, which was heavily relied on.
Eric, what game are you looking forward to?
Just because
Atomic
you ever
Heart,
find
yes.
something that's on your
Eric, we've talked about it before.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, have you ever found something on your wish list and you're like, what the hell is that again?
Yes.
That's what I did to this thing, and it looks really good. It is a Russian game that is not out yet, but it looks quite excellent. It's a open world action RPG, and takes place in actually I don't know. It takes place in the Soviet Union, so maybe that's the explanation for all of the Russian text. It might not actually be a Russian-made game, but it looks really good. It's called Atomic Heart, and it is on Steam. Give it a look. It doesn't have a planned release date yet, but we have seen some stuff about it before.
Definitely delayed.
Yeah, everything, right? The developer's name is Mundafish.
Yep. It looked sort of like BioShock, but Russian.
Kind of. I got bits of a lot of different types of. Okay, yeah, Mundfish is located in Moscow, so very Russian game.
My very, very simple explanation of what it looks like is Russian BioShock.
Yeah.
Yep.
With a little bit more
biological shock again.
Yeah, da.
Whoa. Creepy AF.
Sargareth BioShock is quite good. The first one is excellent, although dated. I didn't really like Infinite, but a lot of people did. They're good games.
I think a lot of people are split on Infinite, but I actually really like that game, and I had a hard time getting into the first one. Infinite played really, really well. which is sort of what got me into it. David, have you mentioned yet? No, you
I
have not.
haven't. So I was going to say I want Skyward Sword, but I'm going to save wanting Skyward Sword for later because there's another game that I want that comes out first, and that game is Biomutant. Biomutant looks... I don't even know what it looks like. It just looks really, really good. And I actually I just looked it up on Steam, and I was really surprised that the price point is 60 Canadian, which means it's probably 40 US.
Yeah, before the US.
It's an open world post-apocalyptic kung fu fable RPG with a martial arts styled combat system. I don't even know what it is. It looks like it's just
very interesting.
It looks great. You get to like... You're a little furry mutant, but apparently you get to like evolve yourself and like change how you look as a little furry mutant and like craft stuff and do things. The world looks interesting. It looks like there's tons of just things to explore and places to go. I'm really, really excited to see more on it. And will soon, because it actually comes out May 25th. So Biomutant, take a look at that. I really, really like the looks of Biomutant. I kind of want it.
Has anyone played Breath Edge?
Breath Edge. The name sounds familiar. No, but it was on my wish list, actually. That's why it's familiar. It looked very good.
I like the idea of surviving in space with my immortal chicken.
It looked sort of like Subnautica, but in space. I think the only thing that stopped me picking it up was that it's single player only. I really, really like multiplayer in my these kind of games, but yeah, Breath Edge looks good too.
Was it the both of you that have been playing Valheim, or just one of you?
Just
No,
me.
me.
Are you still playing it? Sorry.
Yes, though we've sort of stopped with other things going on. But yeah, Cass and I are still playing Valheim. Love it.
Okay, Eric, what's put you off playing Valheim?
My initial reaction to the graphical quality of the game was it looks, at least in screenshots, it looks quite bad. And I didn't really feel the need to play Minecraft Vikings.
It's not the lighting. Watch some video.
I saw some video of it, and it looks way better in video than it does in screenshots.
Yeah.
But that was my initial reaction was, okay, so it's Minecraft Vikings. I don't really care. And then, so I didn't play it.
The big thing for me that puts me off Valheim, or Valheim, as it should be called, is it's a survival game, and most survival games just descend into, you haven't eaten. Why haven't you eaten? You've just eaten. Why haven't you drunk anything? Drink something. Oh, you've got no energy now because you haven't eaten, because you've drunk something. You can eat something. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I didn't realize this was set to a beast level of fucking hunger.
It doesn't. So, I mean, there still is that, but Valheim, the minimum... So, food affects your health and your stamina. But if you haven't eaten, you will not die. You can go the entire game without eating. It's just your health is set at 25 if you haven't eaten anything. And then when you eat, your health goes up based on what you eat for X amount of time. And then when you are hungry again, it starts to go down again until it hits 25. And then you eat again and it goes back up. It's a much, much better system. The way we do it is like, if we're in our base, we don't really eat all that often, but if we're about to go out exploring, fighting, then we eat a meal before we go out and explore.
yeah, one of the things I just don't get about this is it looks like a cross between Minecraft graphics and the original World of Warcraft graphics from 2004. And I don't understand why in 2021 someone can't just not do that.
Graphics
the
mean
graphics are
Other bits have to be cut.
it's a very small game made by a very, very small team.
Oh, that's why.
They've got like
Got it.
not even 10 people on the
That
team, I
makes
think.
way more sense to me. I didn't realize it was that small of a team.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
they'll be
they're
able
very
to-
rich now.
They are very rich now. But
Very,
it is
very rich.
it's a small team, and the graphics. So I was actually in the alpha test for Valheim, and I installed it, I booted it up, I started playing, and the graphics turned me off entirely, and I stopped playing it and forgot about it until it came out, and I heard how much everyone else was loving it and decided, okay, I'll sink some time into it. And it is one of those very, very few, and I'm a graphics snob. I won't play things that are, a certain amount of old, like so old because I can't stand the graphics, right? Valheim, the low res graphics mixed with the gorgeous water and lighting. Honestly, it's I think it's an actually absolutely gorgeous game, and I love the low fidelity of the graphics. I think they really, really fit it, actually. I love it. Sorry.
If you can make it work, it's very nice because then your game runs on most systems. So
Valheim run on potato.
props to them. We have a new segment or another. Sorry, we have another segment coming up.
We're going to our next segment. This may be the fourth segment, or it may be the fourth segment, or it may. Guys, it's Star Wars Day.
It sure is.
No, it's not.
May the force be with you.
It's May the 5th.
Yeah, for you on the other side of the world, maybe, but for us in normal time zone, it's May the 4th.
Jesus, get with the times, man.
We're behind it by a day, David. Oh boy, it's terrible.
All right, we really don't have a ton of news this week, so let's start. The first one is barely even news. Apparently, some screenshots from possibly Battlefield 6 leaked. Might be a Battlefield 6 release coming soon. The only interesting thing about the screenshots is one of them, there is a rocket ship launching in the background. I'm sort of hoping that means this is like a either modern or very, very near future Battlefield game, which I think is interesting, especially if you go up and do Battlefield in space. I'd like that. But like low-tech space, not like Star Citizen space. Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like a low-tech space combat. I think that'd be cool. Anyway, we'll see. Battlefield. It's one of those. Battlefield is one of those games that, like, back in the day, Battlefield 1942 was like amazing, and it's just slowly gotten a lot more over the years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Hell yeah, Moonraker.
It
Next
peaked
one's
with
mine.
2142.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did.
So
I
this
love-
one's
2142
really,
is great.
really interesting. This next one, title that I wrote is Microsoft's internal review of The Last of Us 2. So most of you are probably like, who gives it? What the hell is this about? Who gives a shit? You know, blah, blah, blah. And like that. So,
No, I'm interested. What is this?
So, in the Apple versus Epic Games lawsuit, they have basically subpoenaed records from everybody in the games industry, including Sony and Microsoft. One of the documents that ended up in this is Microsoft's internal review of The Last of Us 2, which is now public. So they reviewed this game, apparently we now learned that they review games internally and then share them with the company as, like, this is our opinion of this game. The interesting thing about this is it was like, well, I don't know, I'll just read an excerpt from it. The visual quality and attention to detail in The Last of Us Part 2 is absolutely best in class in basically every area, and the overall presentation is significantly ahead of anything that other teams have been producing on console and PC. We were frequently stunned by the quality of the game's visuals, something that sadly seldom happens these days. It's even more impressive considering the game features 2 separate player characters with different groups of allies in different locations along with flashback sequences taking place years before. It features a shockingly wide variety of environments, weather, and day cycles in locations ranging from Wyoming to California. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's just interesting to see that like Microsoft internally is as impressed with the game as a lot of people are externally.
That makes a lot of sense. You really don't want in a competitive industry to look at the competition's thing that is excellent and has beaten what you do and say, oh no, it's crap. Because guess what? Nobody learns from that. You want to say, no, this is excellent. This is what we need to emulate. This is what we need to beat. This is what we need to strive to be. And honestly, in games, this is what you need to play because it's good. Go play it. Like, I'm really very much a fan of Microsoft right now. Just saying that.
So you can actually read this entire review if you just look it up online. I will also link the review here.
Cool.
But I just want to quickly read the summary because I think it's also quite good. And this was the point that me and Jake made. As you may remember, me and Jake went on. We had several shows about The Last of Us Part 2.
I do remember.
But their summary is The Last of Us Part 2 is the exceedingly rare video game where what it accomplishes in moving forward the art of narrative storytelling in video games as a medium ultimately outweighs whether or not everyone likes it or even has fun playing it. That said, we loved it, had a great time playing it, and find ourselves still thinking about its characters and stories even after finishing the playthrough. This is and honestly, that's like Microsoft made the point me and Jake were trying to make in like one paragraph. It's like, there you go. I'm gonna send it to Jake because I'm sure he'll be like, yes, that's exactly what I meant.
I like it.
Anyway,
I think that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like in a competitive industry like this, when somebody does something amazing, you can't just go, "Oh, they're the enemy. I'm not going to like look at or take interest in their thing." You got to go, "Okay, what did they do well?"
Sony,
Can we do that too?
Sony are excelling at excellent first-party games. Period.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I hate that they are, but they are.
And it's it's not what am I trying to say here? It's not surprise then that Microsoft has been buying up game studios left, right, and center for the last 3 years.
Yeah. And to be clear, I hate that Sony are doing well because it's impossible to get a PS5 right now.
Yeah, right.
I can't play their stuff even if I want to.
So, our next 2 points are also about Sony, although that one is partly about Microsoft too. Next one is PlayStation has announced a partnership with Discord, but that's about all the information we have. I think they're going to be trying to do some integration, probably for voice chat, I'm guessing. Discord's voice chat is pretty excellent, so
clearly, we're on it right now. I think Sony they're winning the first party game, but they're not really winning the multiplayer or third party games, and I think they're realizing that they need to improve things like PlayStation Online if they're going to compete with Microsoft on that, because first party's great, but lots of the money is in things like Fortnite and Destiny and
Hey, that's the perfect segue.
I know. I gave it right to you.
Thank you. Sony. So part of this again, Apple Epic lawsuit has revealed internal Sony documents about their decision making surrounding allowing crossplay. They obviously everyone loves crossplay who's a gamer, but Sony really, really, really did not like it at all. They viewed it as a way to leech revenue away from their company, and they did not want to allow it. Unfortunately for them, they had this problem where Fortnite became the most played game on PlayStation. And Epic was
Sony
like,
own a chunk of Epic.
do they?
No, they bought into the. It's a separate part of Epic. It's like the shared universe Epic, not the game studio Epic. It's a whole thing.
Anyway, so anyway, Epic and Sony got into a big kerfuffle internally because Epic was like, "Hey, we're gonna enable crossplay," and Sony was like, "No, you're not. We're gonna block it." So they blocked it for a while, and then people got angry at them, and so they unblocked it. Anyway, basically, the current state of it is we found out that the only party that exists that requires compensation to enable crossplay is Sony Entertainment. That is how they allowed it, is they are getting paid for it. If it's determined that a certain percentage of revenues over like a certain threshold in a game is coming from Sony platform, then that game company has to pay Sony money.
That probably explains why a lot of games are like question mark on crossplay, like Outriders, question mark on crossplay, Avengers, question mark on crossplay.
Yeah, because they're trying to decide whether or not to want to pay Sony.
Yeah. That's that is really, really disappointing on Sony. But
You sound surprised.
I'm not.
It's very in line with their corporate culture.
I'm not. I hate Sony corporate, and I hate the fact that they're making excellent games that I really want to play.
Yeah,
because I
just want to say, I'm legally obliged to say, fuck Sony.
I know you are.
Fuck Sony.
Fuck Sony.
That one's free.
I am legally obliged to say that I love Microsoft.
And Shiver was the one who pointed out this next one.
Yeah.
So why don't you introduce the Forza Nation?
It's been revealed that the new Fable game will be using the Forza engine. Forza what?
Yes.
Forza game!
I love that one. That one is great. That's my favorite one in months. Okay. So, I mean, I don't think we can consider this like a groundbreaking surprise or anything, considering Playground Games is making the Fable game. But
I'm just really surprised that they're turning Fable into a car game.
God damn it.
I always thought it was supposed to be an action RPG.
So, what they're doing is to be serious, the Forza Tech engine is like in terms of graphical quality is sky high. Like
when you were a young car, you had a choice to make.
Oh,
did you want an asshole fender and spinning rims? Or did you want to look like a nice sedan? I don't know. I don't know how to do Fable choices for cars, but like, just leave me alone.
Okay. Anyway, what they're basically doing is taking the Forza Tech engine and they're building a whole new tool set into it so that they can build an RPG in there. We've heard lots of interesting tidbits about this. They're taking this pretty seriously. Apparently, they hired like 200 people to work on this game. So, should be pretty interesting. Obviously, they get the backing of Microsoft, so Microsoft's probably going to give as much oomph as they can.
Fable is a pretty well-loved franchise.
Yep. Yeah,
And,
I will. I'm very eager to play this game.
Yep. This is actually where I wanted to talk about Star Citizen a little bit because I find it interesting.
Okay.
We're going to use
What?
the Forza Tech engine in Star Citizen now? Are we changing engines again?
Shiver, did you have something?
I have 2 bits of news.
Oh.
Oh, excellent.
I got a 5900X.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What else did you get?
It's all right. I quite like it. I have my 3080 on the way. Let's just hope it works when it comes and
Yeah.
can use as a goalpost in the UPS Finals Cup trophy. But there's another bit of news, which may affect some of you or not. I don't know. If you've ever noticed your CPU doing temperature spikes, which they are wont to do for an assortment of reasons, Microsoft has released an optional update for Windows 10 because they have found that Windows will occasionally race your CPU cores, which will increase your temperature every so often. I installed it this morning. Not everyone's got it yet, apparently. It is supposed to be for an older version of Windows 10, but Microsoft Windows. But it has so far, it has helped me with some of my temperature spikes. I mean, naturally, you are still going to get temperature spikes because one core gets used above the others, and it can end up just going hot, and then your software's going to say, "Oh, CPU's at 65." Oh, wait, no, it's not. But it can, not guaranteed, it can help.
Perfect. Thank you, man.
Because obviously your OS shouldn't just be randomly racing your cores for no fucking reason.
Where can we go to download such a thing?
Windows, settings, update security, and then just look for updates. Like
Oh,
I say,
okay,
it
cool.
hasn't been rolled out for everyone yet, but the next major Windows update, it will be bundled in there if you haven't got this already.
Windows, hang on, update and security, Windows update. I'm up to date. Oh, optional quality update. Is that it?
I just,
There you go.
the optional quality
okay,
update.
I'm gonna install that right now. Bye, everyone.
It does require a restart. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds
Damn it.
fantastic because like mine's literally doing it right now.
Yeah, what are you running?
3800?
3800X.
Yeah, it might well help you then. Because some of the older Skywell based, which is like, way back when it came out, it was just 14 nanometers and not 14 plus.
I don't think you have enough fingers for that.
Yeah. They used really shitty material on the inside to conduct the heat around, and a lot of people started delidding their CPUs and replacing it with liquid metal. That's this update is going to be a minimal effect on that because that is obviously hardware based. But as far as I know, the Ryzen CPUs, they didn't cheap out on that.
I'm going to call this out too because I just learned about this cooler. I think it's fairly new. Maybe it's not, and I just never knew it existed. But I was watching the Tech Tips of Linus the other day because that's one of the things I do. So my current issue with my computer is that the issue I've always had. I run an AIO because I only have about maybe 3 to 4 inches of clearance between my CPU and the glass top of my desk. So I run an AIO. But I don't really like my AIO, and I would prefer to not use it. But they were doing a build on Linus Tech Tips, and I discovered this cooler from Noctua, the Noctua NHL12S. And yes, it's the NHL cooler, David.
I like that.
And it's a low-profile air cooler with, and it's apparently quite powerful. And I think I might buy it.
Oh, that is very low profile. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's less than 3 inches tall. Yeah, it's less than 3 inches tall from the CPU to the top of it.
I can do a lot with 3 inches, thank you. Don't go humble bragging on 3 inches, man.
I have to point out yet again, wall build is best build.
Yeah, it worked out really good for you. That was awesome.
My power supply still doesn't spin up. It never spins up.
It's like I'm cool.
It's like I'm fine. The fan on the PSU literally never runs because it never gets hot enough that it needs to run the fan on the PSU.
Perfect.
In fairness, you are in Canada.
I am in
That helps.
Canada in a basement. It does help.
Yep.
But no, like the only thing that's a problem is
To be fair, it's fucking cold there. What are you talking
it
about?
is the weird CPU spikes I get that there's no reason for the CPU to be spiking. So if this fixes that, I'm very excited.
Well, it's not
yeah.
gonna.
I do have an
You're
update.
not going to get 100% no temperature spikes. because
I know, but if
you're
if
always
it's
gonna get the way that the
ameliorated a little
multiple
bit,
CPUs work.
if it's just ameliorated
Yeah,
a little
it's-
bit, then I'm happy. I will say I finally blew off.
Ameliorated. Wasn't she the one who disappeared while trying to fly across the Atlantic?
So no, I do have an actual update about the system because when did I build it? Last year, didn't I?
Was it that long ago?
It was
Yeah, it
last.
was last year.
Yes.
Yeah, it was last year.
Shit.
It was like
7-8 months ago then?
yeah, eight. Let's say 8 months. I finally cleaned off the dust for the first time.
Was there much dust on it?
No, I just
That's what I
I blew it off really quickly and not much. 8 months. It doesn't
Did
collect
you leave
dust.
the money on the side?
No,
So-
it ran away with the money.
Dust filters. Highly recommend them. For
For-
those
If
of us
you
with
have a
normal
if you have a
PC.
case.
for people with cases. Yeah. All right.
I did want to mention if anybody's considering a desk build like I did with mine. Mine, I've been running it for a few years now, and I'm probably getting up to 3 years on my build, I think. And I've only cleaned up the dust once, and it barely gets dusty. It's quite impressive, actually.
I do want to get back to that last bit of news because
Oh.
I did. Oh,
Hang on.
go ahead.
Unrelated to cleaning dust, buy a bag or set, whatever you want to call them, of static-proof brushes from Amazon or something like that, because the static will kill your PC. Maybe not instantly, that's how static damage works, but invest in static-proof brushes.
Ooh,
Brushes.
Yes.
What do you do with the brush?
Did you really just ask what the fuck you do with a fucking brush? What the fuck do you think you do with a fucking brush? It's a fucking brush. You brush things.
Why are you brushing your computer, Shiver?
Well, because the majority of the world don't have a wall. And like, get some of these bad boys. You can stick them and put them in all sorts of crevices in your PC and get dust and that off really nicely and easily.
Yeah, I don't need that.
You might do actually just for the inside of your GPU if it isn't water cooled.
The air thing I have, it goes everywhere.
All the way down.
I got
all the way down.
one of these guys.
Oh, you use compressed air. Yeah, that's fair.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it is compressed air,
it's
but it's
compressed air,
electrically
but
compressed
It's
air.
electrically compressed. It's powerful.
It is. I recommended that to you because I have one too.
Yeah, so I picked it up. I did want to talk.
Scary. It's scary how powerful those things are.
Oh yeah. One thing I wanted to mention on the Fable using the Forza engine, in the engine for game, not, immediately evidently connected to the two games. I mean, Star Citizen is using CryEngine, which the
Well,
number
is it really using CryEngine at this point?
it's not, but I mean, they're able to convert engines to do other
All sorts of
things, right? So,
Yep.
The
Yeah,
question
I mean,
the question I have
it
though.
is CryEngine. It is CryEngine, but it's gonna by the time that game releases, it's gonna be such a bastardized version of CryEngine.
Well, the question I have though is how many years did it take CIG to get Star Engine up and running to the point that they can make stuff? And I know that they've got a
6 years.
yeah. I'm hoping that Fable 4 isn't, you know.
I don't think it's gonna be that big a deal.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean that's probably why they're using that engine rather than going for something like Unreal or CryEngine because it's already got a lot of the potential things added in that they just need to use.
It is gonna look good.
It's gonna look amazing.
Well, don't think that just. I mean, it will most likely in this instance, but just because an engine has got good graphics in one game doesn't mean that's going to transfer.
Oh no,
over.
that's
Look at Unreal and Civ.
yeah.
Completely different graphics. So,
But
look at
I'm more looking
Kerbal
at
Space Program and Phasmophobia.
I'm more looking
Both
at
Unity.
what's the developer's name again?
Playground.
Oh, Playground Games.
I'm more looking at the other like Forza Horizon, like the Playground's games look good,
Really, really, really good.
really good. So, really excited for that.
I wanted to mention another parallel that I saw or that I thought of. Frostbite was used for a bunch of FPS games and Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh yeah,
And it worked just fine. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it worked just fine.
Yeah, the problems with Inquisition were not engine related.
No,
Yeah.
no. The engine worked fine. It looked good.
so
At
we're
the
on
time.
It did.
we're on to
Yeah.
segment. Get you free shit. The free thing this week is over on EGS, and it is what's it?
Idle Champions
Idle
of the Forgotten
Champions,
Realms.
which is one of the best idle games.
How idle do you have to be? Are you allowed to do anything in the game?
Idle is in LE or OL?
IDLE. It's like a D&D game ostensibly, in that you've got a couple of characters and you place them in formation and they go through waves and waves and waves of bad guys, and as you kill bad guys you get money and you use that money to upgrade your characters, and all you do is you
So it's
click
a bit
on your characters to upgrade them.
So it's a tower defense game.
Sort of, yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what?
Nothing wrong with a
It's
tower defense game. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
the-
They're fucking like crack.
Yeah.
it's like Loop Hero, which just came out and is doing very well.
But it's a lot less active than
Than Loop Hero.
than Loop Hero or a tower defense game. As Sargoth says, it's an idle clicker. It's an entire genre of games. But this is one of the better ones, and grabbing it on Epic does get a lot of free stuff and free loot, and they make their money by selling loot
free is
boxes.
free.
But I put it on while I'm at work as something to like click on occasionally when I've got a couple seconds.
Damn it! I want to do that.
Because it runs on its own, and it runs when it's shut down, right? So you set everything up, and it goes, and you shut it down, and then you load it up later, and you've earned X amount of money, and you get to upgrade your stuff, and close it back down again, and let it run, and it's just it's
Great. I don't even have to play a game to play it.
exactly. It's literally numbers go up. Anyway, it's free. I like it. It's free.
As long as you like it, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything to yell about? Because I know I don't.
Yeah.
I'm angry that there isn't enough gaming news.
There's no gaming. You know why there's no gaming news? It's because we're like
Because all the shows are coming up.
we're like a couple weeks away from game show season.
Yep. And there's going to be more news than we know what to do with.
Yeah. I'm really excited for game show season this year because I think a lot of things last year sort of fell off the boat. And I think because last year was right at the beginning, right? Right at the beginning of the
Yep.
pandemic, game dev companies hadn't figured out yet how to transition to work from home. No one knew what was going on. Like it was pandemic
Pandemonium.
chaos. I think this year is going to be a lot better. I think game dev companies have mostly figured out, how much time they've lost, what we're going to see, who we're going to see stuff from. I'm excited. Sorry, Shiver, I rambled on over you. You were going to say something.
Do you think we might get some Starfield news this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's
Well,
the rumor.
Okay.
That's the rumor. E3. The rumor is E3 announcement and release later this year.
I think we will. And man, that's going to be great on Game Pass. Look, Game Pass is the best value in video gaming right now, period.
It is.
Just period.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that Idle Champions is because it's free. It's infinitely valuable.
Yeah, but it's not infinitely fun.
This year, last year you said a lot of things fell off the boat. This year, they got stuck on a boat in the Suez Canal.
Pretty much.
It's true.
The boat is just not going anywhere now.
No, I think we're gonna have some really big updates coming this year. I'm really, really excited to see what there is, and I'm really excited for. I'm starting to very, very slowly see this. It's starting to happen, but a couple weeks ago, Microsoft announced recycled controllers made with recycled plastics.
Yeah, they're cool.
Great. Razer has actually started up an entire green division within Razer to develop environmentally friendly products. Great.
See, that was too easy for them, though. All their stuff was green anyway.
It's true. I think
Did you
we're...
see that scientists have discovered that microbe that can actually eat microplastics?
Really? I didn't see that, but
Well,
that's great.
Huge. Wow.
That would be good as
No,
long
that's
as it...
really, really small, Eric.
Thanks. Thanks, Shiver.
Anyway, I'm... given the...
I may be wrong, though.
Given the climate in the States right now, the States are making a big push for environmentalism and green, and I'm really happy about it because they've got so much money to push around, and guess what? Money talks. I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing game developers, or not developers, but like game makers, console makers, start to...
They should start to recycle.
I think we might start seeing more of an effort on behalf of console makers, Microsoft especially, to recycle. Microsoft actually have some excellent as Microsoft, not Microsoft video games, but Microsoft themselves. They've got some of the more ambitious environmental targets that are out there. I really think it's important, and I really think that we as video gamers need to start looking for this and speaking up when we can about the importance of it, because video games are a multi-billion-dollar...
I half agree.
Half agree. Why?
What's the other half?
If we can constantly recycle, if we get electric vehicles, it's like pissing in the ocean. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. It won't matter until the people who are actually doing the manufacturing change.
Yes.
And as long as we're still consuming that bullshit,
but that's...
it doesn't matter how much we recycle. It shouldn't be on our shoulders.
No, it shouldn't be on our shoulders.
No,
the people that are actually doing the huge things.
Shiver, it's not on our shoulders. Trust me. I know it's not on our shoulders. What it is... And honestly, it's not even really public pressure. Public can pressure governments a little bit, but it is governments that have to make the change. They have to mandate changes in manufacturing. But there are companies like Microsoft that are doing it. Microsoft have pledges to be carbon negative. So remove more carbon from the environment than they emit every year by 2030. That is huge. Most countries are looking at 2050 carbon neutral. Microsoft's going for 2030. Like these are important things, and because video games are such a huge global industry, however many billions of dollars a year, we need to like our Steam and Epic Games and GOG Galaxy are, and no, serious question. Microsoft's cloud servers are run on clean energy. They're carbon neutral servers, or they're going that way. Waterless cooling, like they are Steam's.
I don't know what
Epic's?
Steam even uses. What
No
does
one
Steam
does.
use for servers?
I don't know, but maybe these are questions that we as video gamers need to start asking. What are the costs of, what's the environmental costs of our video gaming habit? Because we do count. There's a lot of us, there's a lot of money in it.
Yeah. But
If we start asking the questions.
I would still argue that places like China, manufacturing places,
Yes.
they're going to make a far bigger impact than buying a Prius.
But but you know what makes the biggest some of the biggest impact? Concrete.
Yeah.
Concrete is huge. IT, tech. When you're done with your laptop or your monitor, where does it go? What happens to it? Probably ends up in a landfill somewhere.
It ends up in a landfill in a South Pacific island somewhere.
Yep. Well, why?
But I believe they're starting to take a lot of that and recycle that as well.
But
they're
that's
working on it.
If the options are there, don't get me wrong. I'm not for polluting the planet in any way.
But what
shape, or
we can
form.
do.
I am up for recycling, and I am up for raising the awareness.
Yep.
But I don't want to have to do all this work and then just literally look outside my fucking window, and I just see these great big plumes of fucking pollution coming out, and I just think, why am I doing this when they're the ones that are making a much bigger impact on it?
I think that the biggest impact that consumers can make is to make the choices, like just encourage companies to do the thing, right? If they do a thing and you're like, hey, that's a good thing, and you buy their shit, they'll keep doing it.
Yeah,
like
we can use our
Microsoft's
collective
best
voices.
controller. Yeah, exactly. If Microsoft's best-selling controller is the radioactive green one that is recycled plastic, they'll keep doing it.
And it's true.
Although I really want one of those radioactive green controllers, which I can't even buy.
I really want one, but it is. The actual impact that an individual person can have is negligible. You buying an electric vehicle means nothing. But you know what does mean something? Enough people over the last decade or so have bought electric vehicles. Enough people have supported Tesla so that Tesla is one of the best performing companies in the world, to the point that a whole bunch of other manufacturers have seen that and have started to phase out internal combustion engines. Right?
Yep.
Our money has prompted industrial shift. And that is how we matter. We individual. Me, I don't matter. But if all video gamers start asking, okay, where are the servers?
Where are Steam servers? Let's go looking. Shiver, do you want to come with me? We'll go on
find them.
the great Steam server hunt.
There needs to be a bigger concerted
idea.
effort for it.
Yes.
But I mean, even your Tesla, even if everyone went electric, where's the electricity coming from?
That's easy.
That's well, it's not easy, but
it's not easy, but it's
the answer is simple, but the actual doing of it is hard. But yeah, I mean, you gotta really keep in mind when you are
it has to
when
be
you are buying an electric car, you need to take in consideration where your household electricity is coming from.
Yep.
When I bought my house
in Ontario, we're 90.
Yeah, you're golden.
9.3%
I know
hydroelectric.
you're fine. Just you suckers. God,
Japan
terrible.
obviously makes a huge amount use of nuclear power,
Yep.
which is really good.
So does Ontario.
But it's just that when it comes to nuclear, especially, people are very fearful of it because it's got the word nuclear in it, but it's incredibly safe. But we need to start looking at these alternatives, such as nuclear power, because fusion power has been 20 years away for about 60 years now.
True.
We have the thing is that we have the alternatives to implement. It's making the cultural shift. It honestly, there's a reason
100%.
I try and talk about it on things like this all the time, because it is informing regular people who talk to their parents, who talk to it's just talk to regular people. And as regular people spread it, as it becomes a more accepted idea, then politicians look and they say, oh yeah, my base are, 62% of them agree that the environment is an issue. I'm going to make environment something I care about because 62% of my constituents care. It's all a money thing. But if enough of us talk about it.
Have you seen, I think it's just a prototype idea, massive freight ships, wind powered.
Yeah, I have seen that. They're very cool.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically bringing back the sail powered ship.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea, and I don't see why these corporations don't invest in them, because you just say, all right, might have a larger upfront cost, but you don't.
How much money do you spend on fuel, you crazy bastards?
And that is a finite supply that is just going to increase in price.
Yep. Well,
we were at the point run out of oil like 5 years ago, but we keep finding
we just
more.
found more.
Yeah.
It's not about running out of oil, though. It's about running out of time for the planet to adjust to the temperature increase that we've done.
Running out of atmosphere that's not toxic.
Anyway, I could literally talk about this for hours.
I mean, it's your job,
it's
so
my job.
I don't blame you.
And it's seriously, and this is a serious statement. If anyone has any questions about green, just about anything, hop on the Discord and message me and ask.
Why are solar panels so fucking expensive?
Well, right now, because the entire globe has a manufacturing problem, but also because they haven't had the investment in manufacturing capacity that other things have. Solar panels, up until the last couple of years, really have been very negatively seen by a lot of people. And guess where investments in factories and stuff come from? It comes from governments. Governments are the ones who give grants and give funds for factories to be built, so it's been a lot more difficult for someone to build a solar panel factory than it should have been, because governments don't see the benefit. And that's something that's starting to shift. But also, solar panels technology is only getting better. So 10 years ago it wasn't nearly as effective as it is now. So sorry,
I just want to tie into something that that this one seems like it's off topic, but it's not. One of the cool things, if either of you seen the little tiny helicopter on Mars?
Yeah, Ingenuity.
Have you seen it, Timmer?
But I know it. Yeah.
So its solar panel is only like this big. It's tiny. The reason they can power that thing off of the tiny little solar panel is it's also one of the most advanced solar panels that exists. They're getting 35% efficiency, I think, on Mars, which is just spectacular. They were actually talking about how amazing their solar panel is working. But yeah, we're making big advancements in solar panels. They'll get less expensive, but right now I agree with you, Shiver. I always want to buy them, and then I'm like, God damn, they're expensive.
Look at the advancements.
There was some dude in the UK who completely covered his entire house and some of his land in solar panels, and was actually getting so much power he was selling it back to the national grid.
Oh yeah, that's really common.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Really common here. Yeah,
that's genius, though. Because I mean, but the problem, of course, is it's not just the solar panels, the cost of the solar panels, but you've also got to invest in a fucking huge battery. But then battery's only got a finite life in itself, and where are you going to dispose of that safely?
Not for long, though, because technology improvements made largely by Tesla have increased the lifespan of batteries 1,000-fold for new manufacturing techniques. And one of the ideas that Tesla's had for the Teslas themselves is once they'll run the batteries, and the batteries will last. Honestly, the batteries that they're making now will actually outlast the cars that they're in, because the batteries can be recharged millions of times.
But you still got to dispose of the battery.
No,
So
you don't.
What are you going to do with that?
Can I
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Can I step in? I'm going to step in on your point here, David. You take the battery out of the Tesla and you put it into somebody's house at the end and use it as a stationary storage for their solar system.
I'm going to
solar
put
power.
pencils in it.
You could put pencils in it if you didn't want to connect it up to your solar power system.
Look what Tesla did in Australia. Tesla went in and built an entire battery storage facility that completely changed how Australia was dealing with power outages. Guess what they can do with old Tesla batteries down the road? Put them into those. Put them into people's houses. Like the uses are exponential now that they are investing in the tech to make batteries last longer. It's all a tech battle, and part of the problem is no one's been spending money on tech.
The other part of that thing, and this is the most important thing, and I wish it wasn't so important, but one of the key pieces of information about that battery in Australia is that they're making a lot of money on it. It didn't cost them very much money. They're making a lot of money on it. Money's a big deal. And one of the reasons why the transition hasn't happened yet, and one of the reasons why it's starting to happen, is that solar is getting cheaper, and stationary storage is getting cheaper, and it's actually becoming fiscally better to do things this way than to use a diesel generator or whatever the hell you were doing before. But
it's happening. It's a slow shift, but it's coming. But most people don't know about it.
No, most people. Well, people who know about it are the people who take time to actually look it up. That's basically where it's at.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for watching us. That was a fun show. Thank you, Shiver. I missed you, Shiver.
I
missed you too.
I'm glad
I've got to get better aim.
I mean, you're throwing a long way.
We should tell people that we're abandoning them this Friday or Saturday. I mean,
yes. Well, Shiver first. What do you have anything coming up?
Tomorrow, Vampire the Masquerade, London by Gaslight. No one here comes or gives a shit, but we have a lot of fun, and it's great fun. It is really good fun. 9 days time, Eric? 10 days time?
Good question.
I think it's May 15th, but
I have May 14th.
I don't know. How does time
May
work?
14th.
For Star Trek,
May
right?
14th. Yes. We're doing Star Trek
it's
Adventures.
Friday, May 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
This glorious, sexy, bearded bastard. CS, the glorious, sexy, bearded bastard. The respectfully addressed Stormy without a beard. Cassandra from the Lamias. And Nitro, who's another bearded, crippled bastard.
Nice. For those of you that do watch our Saturday Star Citizen show, there will be no.
And Saturday, I'm over on. They'd kill me if I didn't say it. Over on the Boulette Club.
Nice.
Doing Dungeons and Dragons, which is why I'm not on Relay.
Yeah. And this Saturday there will be no Relay Station, unfortunately, due to life. But it'll be back the next week. So thank you all for hanging out and listening to me rant about environmental stuff. If you ever have any questions, seriously, come ask. This is my life.
Buy me a Tesla?
How do they work?
How do what work?
Magnets.
They don't. It's actually part of the simulation. Magnets are breaks in the simulation.
Oh.
Is the simulation running on an eco-friendly server?
I mean, considering the simulation is running on the power harnessed from 18 stars, Yes, it's all Dyson spheres, so yeah, completely eco-friendly. I mean, the planets around the spheres completely died out because they got no sun, but
Sun's overrated.
exactly. Look at us.
So long.
Farewell. Alfida saying good night. No.